So there's three specific scenes that I want to get your insight from because you were a big part of those three scenes. The first one being the initial introduction to the chocolate room, the whole pure imagination scene. Now, being a kid going onto a big set like that, what was that like? And there's so many stories that I read online over the years that scene of them filming you guys walk in was your initial reaction to seeing the set for the first time. Is that true? And how was that experience overall?
Well, it's true for four of them, but unfortunately, or fortunately, not true for me. In true Veruca style, but in my defence, it was just kind of an accident. And because I was out there, costume fittings and that kind of thing, and recording my song, I remember Harper Goff, the set designer, when they were building and constructing that set, said, "Oh, do you want to look around?" So I'm like, "Yeah, of course I do." So he showed it to me. It wasn't finished, I could see that there was a river and I could see where things were going to be, but it wasn't finished by any means. And so I had a look, and then, barely a few days or maybe a week later or something, Mel Stewart said on no account were the children to see that chocolate room before the shooting. He wanted our initial reaction. Well, too late, I'd already seen it. So I'm afraid I just kept quiet. I didn't tell him I'd already seen it. I did tell him about 10 years ago when we were in New York, and he was telling the story again about how the kids were never allowed to see it, and that was their first reaction. I thought, I can't let this lie go on any longer. I went, Mel, I have to own up. I confess I did see the set before we were allowed to, but I didn't know I wasn't supposed to.
You were definitely meant to play Veruca Salt, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Veruca always goes first, always goes first. But it was an amazing set, and that's what everybody wants to know and hear, that it was incredible. So being on the set and going down those steps and being able to run around, that was the first time that we did all that. And they just kind of said, run where you like, maybe go in this direction, maybe go in that direction, just run and have a look at things. So we all just went running. The little bit of business that Denise and I invented on the steps, that was us. We were deciding to push and shove each other a bit. And Mel Stewart liked that, so he kept that in and broadened that a little bit as well. So it was a very beautiful set, and I'd not seen it, in its entirety, with the waterfall going and when the boat comes through and all of that. So that was wondrous. It really was.
Now, was anything actually edible on that set, or was that just movie magic at its finest?
A lot of the stuff that you see us eating in close up, that was edible. They would switch it in, but the things like Denise's gummy bear, they would substitute the ear, but not the whole bear. That would be like 100 pounds of gummy bear, wouldn't it? I think, and the sort of cream in the toadstool, and that. The thing that I had to eat was that horrible watermelon stuffed with whatever chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't nice. That was horrible. Didn't like that. Cold, wet, slimy, chocolate flavored. Yuck, didn't like it.
Now, on the topic of the waterfall, I've read a lot that it was either just water with food coloring, but I've also read that they actually put some cocoa in there and it started to stink after a while.
Yeah, they did. They couldn't just put food coloring in because it would just go kind of, translucent. You need that opaqueness to it that chocolate has. So I think it was like a chocolate ice cream powder that they put in to kind of get it the right, looking like the right thing. But of course, we were on that set for probably, I don't know, 3 weeks or something, and the hot lights and all of that, and it got a little. And I think also people did tend to use it like as a garbage tray. They chuck their coffee cup dregs in it and things like that. And it was in the days when people would smoke, and I remember seeing the odd cigarette butt float down that that river. So, and we came in on a Monday, I think it was, and it had got a little bit stinky and bubbly over the weekend, so they had to drain it down and mix it, and then they refilled it all again. So we got a little bit of time off, which was fun. And but then when they filled it again, it wasn't quite the right color, so they had to drain it down and mix it up again to get it the right color. So yeah, it was it wasn't a river that you really want to drink.